In the busy village of Luyanda, there was a young woman named Zuri. She was the best hairdresser in the land. Her hands worked like magic, turning rough, tangled hair into beautiful braids. People from far and wide came to her shop, and she was loved by all. One evening, just as Zuri was about to close her shop, an old woman walked in. She was small and bent over, with messy gray hair full of dirt and twigs. She smelled like damp earth, as if she had been sleeping in the forest. "Braid my hair, child. Make it beautiful," the old woman said in a rough voice. Zuri looked at the woman's hair and sighed. It was dirty, thick, and tangled. Fixing it would take hours, and she was already tired. "Mama, your hair is too dirty. Please go and wash it first, then come back," Zuri said. The old woman slowly lifted her head and stared at Zuri with dark, sharp eyes. "So, you refuse to touch my hair?" Zuri hesitated, but before she could answer, a few women in the shop giggled. "Imagine Zuri trying to fix that mess," one of them whispered. Even Zuri let out a small laugh. The old woman did not laugh. Instead, she took a step forward. Then, quicker than anyone could see, she reached out and plucked a single strand of hair from Zuri's head. Zuri gasped and touched her head. "Mama, why?" The old woman held up the strand of hair and smiled in a strange way. Her voice was soft but chilling. "I will return when the moon turns red," she whispered. Then she turned and walked out of the shop. The laughter stopped. The room felt cold, and the lamp in the shop flickered and went out. The next day, Zuri went to work as usual. But something was wrong. Her hands, once so steady, started shaking. The braids she made were uneven, and her customers complained that their hair kept coming undone. Within days, things got worse. Women who had just come from her shop said their hair was falling out in clumps. Rumors spread. "Zuri has lost her gift," people whispered. Fewer and fewer customers came, until one day, her shop was empty. Desperate, Zuri went to the village elders for help. They called a seer, a wise woman who could see the hidden world. The seer threw bones onto a mat and studied them. She looked up in shock. "A powerful witch has stolen a piece of your hair. She has cursed it, and until you take it back, your troubles will not end." Zuri's heart pounded. She had no choice. She had to find the old woman and take back her stolen hair. That night, Zuri left her home. The seer had told her, "You will find the witch when the moon turns red." She walked deep into the forest, where the trees were thick and twisted. The air smelled strange, like burning hair. Fireflies lit her path, leading her to a small, hidden hut. Hanging from the trees outside were bundles of hair. Some were long, some short, all tied together like trophies. Inside the hut, the old woman sat by a fire, stirring a black pot. Zuri's heart stopped when she saw what was inside, strands of hair, floating in bubbling liquid. And there, on a stone, was her own single strand, glowing in the firelight. The old woman turned and smiled. "Oh, Zuri. You laughed at me. Now your gift is mine." Zuri fell to her knees. "Please, Mama. I meant no harm. Have mercy." The old woman studied her for a long moment. Then she let out a rough laugh. "Mercy," she said. "You did not show me kindness when I needed it. But I will make you a deal." Zuri's breath caught in her throat. "Anything," she whispered. The old woman pointed to her wild, tangled hair. "Braid my hair," she said. "Braid it with the same love and care you give to your finest customers. If you do it well, I will return what is yours." Zuri swallowed hard. Her hands trembled as she reached forward, touching the witch's coarse, knotted hair. It was dry, brittle, and filled with years of neglect. But this time, she did not hesitate. She walked slowly, carefully untangling each strand with her fingers before weaving it into a neat, elegant braid. The witch hummed in satisfaction. "You have learned, child," she said, standing up. She took Zoe's stolen strand and placed it in her palm. "The moment you burn it, your curse will break." Zoe did not waste a second. She threw the strand into the fire. The moment it burned, a powerful wind rushed through the hut, and she felt something lift from her shoulders. Her hands, her precious hands, stopped trembling. She had won back her gift. Zoe returned to her shop, her skill sharper than ever. But she had changed. She never again turned away anyone, no matter how they looked. She learned that kindness and respect held more power than even the finest braids. And so, the legend of Zoe, the hairdresser who defied the witch and learned the power of humility, lived on for generations.